What's up everybody, Kier Gomes here and welcome back. So today we are going to be talking about a topic that I recently mentioned, basically a topic that I'm passionate about, that I talk about all the time, and I figured at this point it deserves its own video. Today we're going to be talking about the very popular question in the Magic and cardistry community, which is, do the cards really matter? Now, before I get trolled in the comments, I do want to say, as a playing card collector, I have a lot of different playing cards. Yeah, some are better than others. But I did want to take a deep dive and really get into the topic for a couple of reasons. The first one being, I recently did a giveaway on the Cherry Casino Tahoe Blue deck. And all you have to do to enter that is leave a comment why you want those cards. And the caveat that I put in that video was I didn't want anybody telling me that they wanted them because they want to learn Magic and they don't have any good cards for Magic. Now I understand it's hard to learn card Magic without cards. The stipulation that I meant was, don't tell me that premium quality deck is going to make you any better or worse at Magic or cardistry. So I'm excited to get into this topic, but before we do, please do drop a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's roll that intro and get you guys on your way.
Let's go.
Alright, so here's the thing. I understand that playing cards are very addicting to purchase. As most of you know, I have an obscene amount of playing cards in my stash. And I like to use different cards for different reasons, whether it be Magic, cardistry, practicing, or I like the aesthetic of the cards and I just want to use them because they're pretty. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever if you ask me. But something that I don't like hearing, or at least something that I find to be a little bit of a cop-out in terms of practicing Magic, is that you need a good or expensive or premium deck of cards in order to be good at Magic. So let's break that down a little bit. If you look at some of the greatest magicians of all time, David Blaine, Dai Vernon, Shin Lim, Richard Turner, Juan Tamariz, Ricky Jay, rest in peace, really anybody, you'll notice that in all of their performances or all of their gigs, anywhere that you've seen them, they're for the most part using standard decks of cards. These are gonna be things like bicycles or tally-hos. Now the reason for that is because those standard cards are A, what they learned with, and B, it's an easily recognizable deck that a spectator's not gonna think is gimmicked or gaffed. Now I know you've heard me say that before, but I think it's so important to talk about because if you don't have a expensive, premium quality deck of cards, at least in terms of Magic, it doesn't really change anything. To demonstrate that, what I did in the trailer at the beginning of this video was I just broke in a deck of tally-hos. Tally-hos are less expensive than bicycles even. They're like $2.50 a deck, super cheap, but great quality because they're made by the USPCC. So if we were to look at a $12, $13 deck like the Cherry Casinos that I'm giving away versus the $2.50 tally-hos, my level of skill with handling cards doesn't change across the two. I can do everything with a tally-ho or a bicycle deck that I could do with a Cherry Casino deck. Which of course doesn't stop me from still buying expensive cards, but before I could afford to buy expensive cards, I learned Magic the same way everybody else did. A $1 deck and a lot of practice and the motivation to be a good magician. So in order to further illustrate my point, today we're gonna be comparing a premium quality deck that costs anywhere between $10 and $15. Then I'm gonna take not just a brand new out of the box deck of cards, we're gonna compare the expensive deck to one of the very first decks of cards that I ever owned. That means that the deck has not only been broken in, it's also been destroyed in some ways. It's had sweat from my palms. It's had the tears from... So without further ado, let's get into it. So for this example, we're gonna look at the Reno Red Cherry Casinos. I happen to like this deck as far as the way it feels and handles, and it looks pretty good. But this is very similar to the deck that I'm giving away, and it costs like $12.50. Plus shipping, let's not forget that. So at this point, we're looking at upwards of $15 to $20 for this deck of cards. Now, I'm gonna show you a pretty complicated sleight of hand magic trick with this deck to kind of give you an idea of the magic you can perform. All right, so this is gonna be an example of a magic trick with the Cherry Casino deck. So let's see how good an expensive deck looks when you're doing Magic, okay? First, let's go ahead and select a card. In this case, let's say the Ace of Spades, okay? We're gonna leave the Ace of Spades right there in the middle, and we're gonna take the top card, which is the Queen of Spades, okay? Now, I'm only gonna use the one card. I don't need the rest of the deck for this. We're gonna take the Queen of Spades, right? You can see nothing funny about it, except if I change it to the Ace of Spades. Now I know that looked really good, and that's because it took a lot of practice and a lot of time to learn those skills. Those skills of which I learned from a deck like this one. This is a bicycle solitaire deck. I'm pretty sure this deck was like $1. You can see this deck has been destroyed. The tuck box is barely even functional. And the cards are pretty gross and yellow. This is the kind of deck that a lot of you have that you're saying you need a better deck to learn better tricks. So to show you my point, I'm gonna do the same exact trick that I just did with the $15 to $20 Cherry Casino deck with this old, broken in, disgusting deck of cards and show you that it makes no difference. Let's look at that. All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing again, but we're gonna be using this much older, much more worn in deck of cards. This is probably what a lot of you are practicing on, which is fine. So let's go ahead and get a card selected. In this case, let's say we're gonna use the Ace of Clubs. We're just gonna leave the Ace of Clubs right there in the middle. And we'll take the top card, which is the Two of Hearts, and watch carefully. Take the Two of Hearts, and just like that, we have the Ace of Clubs. All right, now I'll even give you guys a little bit of a bonus. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's randomly go through here and select a card. Let's say that one right there. That's the Three of Spades. Okay, now watch this. I'm gonna go ahead and fan out the cards. Put the Three of Spades about in the middle. Right, I don't know, looks about middle. I'm just gonna push it in, and just like that, it's on the bottom. Now, as you can see, the trick functioned and looked almost the exact same regardless of the deck I was using. And the whole purpose of that was not to say that you shouldn't have nice decks. In fact, I wouldn't give them away if I didn't think people should have them. The point that I'm trying to make is you don't need it to take your Magic and cardistry to the next level. All you really need is practice and any deck of cards. So don't use not having an expensive deck as a cop-out. Don't use it as an excuse for why you can't learn Magic or why you're not learning Magic. Especially if you're saying that while you're on my YouTube, which means you have access to all kinds of online tutorials and theory and things you can learn. So to kind of help give you an idea of what I mean, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna be giving away a Tally-Ho Circleback deck of cards that I just popped open for the trailer at the beginning of the video. So it's been used for like a total of 15 minutes. This deck is about $2.50 online plus shipping. It has everything that you would need to learn sleight of hand card magic. It looks great, and it's printed by USPCC, which means it's gonna feel amazing. If you want, I'll even sign it for you, but here's what you gotta do. First thing you have to do is be subscribed to my channel. Next thing, please do drop a like on the video. And the third thing is leave me a comment letting me know what the most difficult sleight of hand move you've ever learned is. This one is not gonna have any contingencies on my subscribers or likes or anything. What I'll do is I'll pick a winner sometime this week, and I will post a video announcing the winner next week. Also, if you've won any of my giveaways in the past and you have not received them yet, please do bear with me. It's been kind of crazy with the holidays. And as well, I'm working on a V2 of the Chalkbox deck, which has been consuming 99.99% of my free time. That other 0.01% has been to sleep and spend time with my wife. So please do bear with me. I will get everything sent out to you. It is just gonna take me some time to get to it. Well guys, that is gonna do it for us here today. I wanna thank you all for stopping by to check out this video. I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend. I know I will. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Let's go.